All right, today we are breaking down one of the most fundamental, most talked about elements in all of SEO, the title tag. But here's the thing, thanks to some absolutely game-changing internal Google leaks, the rulebook as we know it has been completely rewritten. So let's just start with a pretty big question. What if I told you that the single most powerful SEO tool you have on your entire website isn't some complex strategy, it's not some expensive software, but it's this one single, unassuming line of code? You know, for years, the SEO world has treated the title tag like it's just a simple container for keywords, a signal meant purely for search engine bots. But its real power, its true purpose in modern search, has nothing to do with that. It lies in something else entirely, influencing human behavior. So, to really get a handle on this new strategy, we have to start with the foundation. Let's make sure we're all on the same page about what a title tag actually is, and just as important, what it isn't. At its core, it's a super simple line of code that lives in the head section of your HTML. But don't let that fool you. This one line acts as your page's official name badge across the entire web. It's the text you see in your browser tab, it's what gets saved in a bookmark, and most critically, it's the big, blue, clickable headline in Google search results. Now, here is a critical distinction that trips up so many people. The title tag is an off-page signal. Think of it as the promise you make before someone even clicks. The H1 headline, on the other hand, is on-page. That's how you deliver on the promise once they arrive. And trust me, a mismatch between these two is a huge red flag for Google.
Okay, and this is where things get really interesting. Those leaks documents I mentioned, they've given us this unprecedented look under the hood at the secret internal systems Google is actually using to judge your title tags.
First up, we've got a metric called Title Match Score. This system literally scores how well your page's title matches what a user is searching for. But here's the kicker. The documents show that Google also calculates a site-wide title match score. That means the quality of your titles across your entire domain is being judged as a whole. A few bad ones can actually drag the whole site down. But Google isn't just scoring the good titles. Oh no. There's a flag called Bad Title Info that proves it's also actively identifying and quantifying poor quality. This is almost certainly a direct negative ranking signal for titles that are spammy, vague, or just plain bad. But honestly, the real game changer here, the one you absolutely need to understand, is Nav Boost. This thing is a beast. It's a re-ranking system that is based entirely on user clicks. It rewards pages that earn what it calls good clicks, and it penalizes those that get bad clicks. You know, when a user clicks your link and then immediately bounces back to the search results. So let's connect the dots. The crucial takeaway here is that your title's #1 job has fundamentally shifted. It is no longer about stuffing keywords in for a bot. Its primary role now is to convince a human being to click, because that very human behavior directly feeds this incredibly powerful ranking system. Okay, so knowing all of that, how do we actually go about building the perfect title tag? Let's get practical and move to an evidence-based checklist that takes all of these new insights into account. First things first, let's bust a myth right now. We've all heard it for years. Keep your title under 60 characters. Well, forget that. Google doesn't count characters. It measures pixel widths. On a desktop, you've got about 600 pixels to work with before your beautiful title gets cut off. And the reason is actually pretty simple. Not all letters are created equal. A title full of skinny letters like I can be way longer than a title with wide letters like W. That's exactly why you can't just rely on character count. The real goal is to fit your most compelling message inside that 600 pixel window. Beyond just the length, you absolutely have to match your title's structure to the user's intent. And we don't even have to guess how to do this. Google's own internal style guide for its developers basically gives us the formula. For how-to searches, start with a verb. For conceptual topics, use a noun phrase. And for commercial pages, get right to the point with clear action words. So here's a quick little audit you can run on your own site. Is every single title unique? Does it lead with your main keyword, but in a way that sounds natural? And most importantly, avoid that vague boilerplate stuff like home. And whatever you do, do not resort to keyword stuffing. And look, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. Google literally pays human beings, their search quality raters, to review search results. And they are explicitly trained to penalize pages with misleading or exaggerated clickbait titles. This is proof that honesty and accuracy build trust not just with your users, but with the algorithm itself. Okay, but what about that thing that drives every SEO professional crazy? You spend all this time crafting the absolute perfect title, and then you check Google and see that it's completely changed it in the search results. Let's talk about why that happens.
Well, first of all, if this has happened to you, you are definitely not alone. I mean, look at these numbers. Recent studies show that Google rewrites a staggering 76% of all title tags. It's not the exception anymore, it's the norm.
The system behind all this is called Snippet Brain, and its entire job is to analyze your page and generate what it believes is the most relevant title for a user no matter what you actually wrote in your HTML. And it can pull this new title from anywhere: your H1 heading, your body copy, even from the text of links pointing to your site. So how do you maintain some control here? What's your best defense? Well, your single best move is to make sure your off-page promise, that's your title tag, perfectly matches your on-page reality, your H1 headline. The closer those two are, the less reason you give Snippet Brain to step in and take over.
So let's zoom out and think about the big takeaway from all of this. Your title tag is not some technical afterthought. It's not just a field you stuff with keywords. It is a powerful, strategic communication tool. It's a signal of quality, effort, and trust that you're sending to both users and to Google. And honestly, this quote from the source material just perfectly captures this new way of thinking. In this new era of search, our job isn't to trick a machine. It's to use our uniquely human skills like empathy and clear communication to create the exact signals of quality that Google's advanced AI systems are now built to find and reward.
When you really get down to it, mastering this one line of code is about mastering the art of the first impression online. It is the single most critical promise you will make to a potential visitor before they ever even get to your site.
Which really leaves us with one final thought. Take a good, hard look at your own website. Are you still treating your titles like just another SEO chore to check off a list? Or are you treating them as what they truly are, the most strategic and powerful promise you make on the entire internet?